Hey, everybody. Welcome back to your Dream Coach podcast. This is the place where we talk about turning those big dreams into reality. And today I'm diving into something that most people are terrified of, and that's failure. And we're going to have some fun today. And here's the truth is that if you are not failing, you're not growing. And man, I have to remind myself of that all of the time, and today we're just going to break it down into just three simple but really powerful takeaways. First is that perfection is the enemy of progress. And I'm going to dive into that. Second is every failure is a lesson in disguise. And in so many of my coaching sessions, I'm always reminding people that it's all about perspective and oftentimes what's happening for us to get us to where we are today. And the third that I'm going to jump into is that successful people are just people who failed a lot more than you. So let's jump into it. So let's talk about the idea of perfection is the enemy of progress. Man, I feel like I'm constantly talking about progress over perfection, right? Progress over perfection. And too many small business owners really get stuck waiting for the perfect time, the perfect product, or the perfect launch. I know I have definitely been in that space before where I've said, once I get this done and this done and this done, then I'll do it. And something that I learned from one of my favorite mentors is this whole idea of F it up and figure it out, right? And perfection doesn't exist, right? Spoiler alert, but if we haven't figured that out already, perfection isn't a thing. And if we wait until everything is flawless, guess what? We never take action. And the truth is that business is messy. I led a corporate team in direct sales for almost 2 decades. It's messy, and you have to be willing to put things out there, make adjustments, keep moving forward. Every successful entrepreneur that you admire started before they were ready. And the next time that you're in that place where you're holding yourself back, remind yourself, done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. I even think about this journey with my podcast. This was something just over a year ago. I was like, why not? It's been on my dreams list. Other people have done it. Why not me? And I was terrified. I didn't know how to record a podcast, upload a podcast, what to say on a podcast, how to make it not sound awkward, how to be me, which I'm still figuring it all out. But I'm so damn proud of myself for just taking a step, drawing that line across the sand and saying, you know what, Shayla, like F it up and figure it out. There's other people that are out there doing the thing. Why not you? And that's exactly why I've stayed, committed to putting out episodes. At this point, I don't care how many downloads are happening because my why is that this is a space that it's making me grow. I'm failing, I'm figuring things out, and I'm getting a little bit better every single time. The second thing I want to jump into is just that every failure is a lesson in disguise. And this is what I shared, when I kicked off this episode today, is that I see this so much when I work with coaching clients. Is this imposter syndrome, this fear of, well, what if this doesn't go right? And here's the thing is that when you mess it up, it's easy to feel like you're back at square one. But failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it, right? It's part of it. And every mistake teaches you something. A bad sales call. All right. Now you know what not to say. A launch that flopped. Now you understand your market better. And instead of beating yourself and ask, instead of beating yourself up, asking ourselves, what did this teach me? What did I learn from this? And the fastest way to grow is to fail, learn, adjust, and just keep going, right? Just keep going. I know for myself, whenever I feel defeated, often I ask myself two things. One, do you need to just go to bed? Because oftentimes I'm not the best version of myself when I'm tired and think I try to squeeze too much into some of the days of that hours of the days that I have. And then second, is this really going to matter in 10 years? And that has helped me decide what's important now, what's helping me towards some of my bigger goals, and how do I just show up again tomorrow and just give 110%. Right? This is supposed to be fun as we work. I had a client yesterday and I had to remind this person, are you right now showing up to life, to live, just to work? Or are you using work as a place that you can live a big life? There's a lot of ways to make money. There's a lot of ways that we can use our failures to get us closer to those dreams. And the third thing I want to jump into is just that successful people are just people who failed more than you. And that is something I just need to remind myself time and time again. The challenge with social media and just things that we see on highlight reels, I love seeing the highlights. It's amazing. However, I need to remind myself that they didn't just arrive. People didn't just get to where they are because they posted something on social media. They just decided to just put out a podcast. Everybody that we follow, everybody that we're inspired by started somewhere. And I remember my first time in direct sales doing my first presentation, and it was horrible. I remember my first phone calls feeling so awkward and going red and blotchy and fumbling over my words. And oh my gosh, my first message that I ever gave at an event, literally blacking out. And it's easy to get removed from where we started. And so even though we never fully arrive, there's always ways to keep growing. We do have to take some time to appreciate we are definitely further than where we were. And all the people that we admire, all of the successful people have just failed more than we have. And when we think about some of the most successful people in the industry, they're not the smartest, they're not the luckiest or the most talented. They're the ones that just keep showing up after every setback. And the difference between success and giving up is how many times you're willing to fail. So if you're struggling, it doesn't mean you're not meant for this. It just means you're still in the process of figuring it out. So we all need to get better at stopping comparing ourselves to someone else's highlight reel and just start embracing the messy, the imperfect, the real journey, and really have fun with our lives. So there you have it. Today's episode was short and sweet, but perfection is a trap. Failure is a teacher. And the people winning are the ones that are willing to F it up and figure it out. So if you take nothing else from today, remember this. The only way to guarantee failure is to stop trying. So keep going, keep learning, and most importantly, keep taking action. So if this episode hit home for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And as always, I'd love to hear biggest takeaways. DM me on Instagram or take me in your stories. Until next time, keep dreaming big and doing the work.